Atomwaffen Division are a right-wing extremist entity. They originated in the United States and have since become an international organization. Their name in German is atomic weapons. The following presentation will examine the group's historical background, their evolution and methods of recruitment, as well as the context of their current operations and presence today. Who are the Atomwaffen Division? According to the Government of Canada, Atomwaffen Division are also known as AWD, the National Socialist Order, and NSO. They are described as an international neo-Nazi terror group that originated in the US and has since expanded into the UK, Canada, Germany, and elsewhere in the world. The group calls for acts of violence against racial, ethnic, religious, and bureaucratic or political groups. Their aim is to prompt the collapse of society. They were officially listed as a terrorist entity by the Canadian government in February of 2021, and they remain on their website as a current and active entity at the time of research for this presentation. Background. Records show that Atomwaffen Division emerged around 2015. However, there are also reports they began forming as early as 2013. They evolved through extreme rhetoric online among white supremacists around misogyny, anti-Semitism, homophobia, and racism. They're influenced by neo-Nazi James Mason, among others. Mason wrote a collection of writings published as The Siege, and who, through his writings, advocates violence to achieve the collapse of society and the rise of fascism. Of note, Mason is also a listed terrorist entity on the Government of Canada's website. The roots of Atomwaffen Division. The group initially formed by members active on Iron March, which is today a defunct internet forum that was used by neo-Nazis on the far right to spread their propaganda and connect. Brandon Russell led the Atomwaffen Division as it evolved, using the Iron March platform at the time to recruit, train, and spread propaganda and increase membership. According to Stanford University, they attempted to relate and appeal to young people by targeting university campuses and online gaming communities. Atomwaffen divisions operate mainly in online groups and small localized cells. They're known to run hate camps for members. These camps are intended to prepare members for a racial holy war. They train in guerrilla tactics and weaponry. Training is also often provided by former military servicemen. They use propaganda as a tool to spread their hateful messaging through the internet and through distribution of flyers, posters, and stickers in the community. Here are 3 brief examples of some of the propaganda shared by the group online. Links to military. Atomwaffen Division's founding leader, Brandon Russell, joined the Florida National Guard in 2016, where he served until the time of his arrest. Former members of this group have reported that they aimed to recruit current and former military members to benefit from their military training in an effort to create a paramilitary activist environment. The US authorities have identified several active members of the Atomwaffen Division who were also serving in the military or National Guard at the time. When it comes to ideology, Atomwaffen maintain neo-Nazi views. The goal of one day achieving Aryan victory over all non-Aryan people. According to Jacob Ware, Atomwaffen subscribes to the Zionist-occupied government and white genocide conspiracy theories, both central to the American neo-Nazi ideology. AWD members wish to incite a race war in an effort to destabilize society as we know it and to follow James Mason's influence of then seeing a rise in fascism. Here's a snapshot of the evolution of AWD. In 2017, ADW gained widespread media attention when a member murdered two of his compatriots, who were also his roommates. It's reported that the two victims had converted to a religion, and this went against AWD's core Aryan beliefs. The apartment housed 4 ADW members, the murderer, the two victims, as well as the leader at the time, Brandon Russell. When police arrived to investigate the murders, they encountered weapons and explosives associated to Russell, who was subsequently arrested, charged, and sentenced to prison time in the United States. Since 2017, there have been 5 known murders associated to the group, confirming an escalation from extremist rhetoric to violent acts. After Russell was arrested, the AWD evolved under 2 new leaders in Caleb Cole and John Denton, also of the United States. Atomwaffen Division arrests. In 2019 and 2020, pressure from authorities began mounting in the United States as arrests and raids were undertaken. Over these 2 years, both AWD leaders Caleb Cole and John Denton were arrested, one for weapons-related offenses and the other for organizing and utilizing a new method of attack known as swatting. This is a relatively new phenomenon that has seen recent use by other online groups and involves reporting a false crime or emergency to 911 to elicit a SWAT police response. This has proven to be an effective tool to harass and intimidate targets. Also across this time, several other prominent AWD members were arrested or raided across the US, Canada, and in other nations. Atomwaffen Division become the National Socialist Order. AWD reportedly disbanded in 2020 after multiple members were arrested in different areas and from different cells. Since that time, members and remaining leaders have re-emerged, rebranded as the National Socialist Order, or the NSO. Reports indicate the NSO is accelerationist, and there have been some satanic ideations introduced on top of their race war platform, and that this may be causing some infighting. As of the date of this presentation, the NSO have not been added to Canada's list of recognized terrorist organizations as a separate entity, but rather they acknowledge they're also known as the Atomwaffen Division. Atomwaffen Division, otherwise known as the National Socialist Order, remain an identified and active terrorist group in the US and Canada. The Criminal Code of Canada has included them and all of their associated names. Records indicate that the FBI were considering designation of AWD as a foreign terrorist organization based on their international members. The time of research for this presentation, I was not able to determine whether or not that classification had gone through. In researching the group, some have suggested that the recent acknowledgement of right-wing extremist groups as terrorists may also be highlighting further their formerly covert online activity. Others suggest there's been a rise in right-wing extremism overall. Perhaps this is due to the ease of which people can connect and spread their propaganda online and on dark web platforms. It removes barriers like international travel and organizing in person. As noted by the Southern Poverty Law Center, a significant aspect of Atomwaffen Division's legacy is that none have done more over the past decade to reinvigorate federal law enforcement's interest in infiltrating and investigating white power groups after neglecting the threat of white supremacy for so long. Thanks for watching.